I think we need to replace this with a Greyjoy banner instead. Welcome back, guys, to the Game of Thrones Season 7 reviews, and today we're going to be reviewing Episode 2, Stormborn. Now, this episode was probably better than the last one, I'd say. I'm a little bit divided on it. There were a few things I didn't like about the episode. However, that ending scene kind of saved the bad parts of this episode. It kind of saved this episode from being kind of iffy. I love this episode now. Just because of that ending scene. That ending scene was incredible. Because my boy Euron is back, and he's just as awesome as he is in the books. I can finally say that. Anyways, let's get into that. We're going to talk about the other storylines first. We're going to dissect this episode. So anyways, guys, let's get into it. First thing we'll talk about is the scenes at Winterfell. Jon gets a letter from Tyrion, then Sam. He argues with everyone about going to meet Daenerys. And he goes anyways, and then he chokes Peter Baelish, and he leaves. So, what I think of the Winterfell scenes, they were okay, you know. It's just the past two episodes at Winterfell have been, I'd say they're kind of boring. It's kind of getting repetitive. I feel like we've been seeing the exact same scenes at Winterfell for the past three episodes. Season 6, Episode 10, last episode, and this episode. They all start the same way. It's always Jon and all the lords in the big hall, and they're all talking and arguing about something. I'm kind of getting tired of this. I feel like we've been seeing the same exact scene every episode with these guys, and it's kind of getting repetitive. So, I'm really glad that Jon's finally leaving that place. He says, screw you guys, I don't care what you say, I'm gonna go meet Daenerys, I gotta get this dragon glass. I'm glad Jon's making his own decisions. That's what he should do. He tells everyone straight up, he's like, hey, I don't want to be king. Like, I don't know, I never wanted to be king, but I accepted it. So, I'm glad Jon's finally getting out of there, and Peter Baelish, Littlefinger's still up to some shit, like he always is, smirking in the corner. I feel like we've been watching the exact same scene at Winterfell for the past 3 episodes. I know I just said that, but like, it's really repetitive. I'm tired of it. I'm glad they're finally changing it up. Sansa's gonna be alone with Baelish at Winterfell. Interested to see how that goes down. The scene with Jon and Baelish in the basement and the Winterfell crypts with Ned Stark's statue, it was okay. I don't know why Jon had to choke him. Like, Peter Baelish was like, hey, a thank you would be nice. I saved your ass on the battlefield. And he's right. Like, Littlefinger saved them. Without them, they wouldn't have Winterfell. Ramsay wouldn't be dead. Everyone would be dead. Jon would be dead. And like, he should have said thank you. I think it was kind of rude for him to just choke him like that. But I guess they're trying to pay homage to Ned Stark and how he did that back to him in Season 1. I guess. Yeah, it's nice to see that Jon got a letter from Tyrion with the same words he had from Season 1 with all dwarves are bastards in their father's eyes. Nice callback to Season 1. A lot of callbacks to Season 1, my favorite season. So that was good. But anyways, Winterfell scenes, you know, they're okay. Plot moving, but like I said, they're really getting repetitive now. I'm tired of Lyanna Mormont. I'm tired of everyone arguing over the same thing. It's really getting stagnant at this point. And it was okay. I'd say that was the worst part of the episode because I'm just so freaking tired of the Winterfell stuff. But anyways, moving on, let's talk about King's Landing. So Cersei talks with all of her bannermen. She gathers in the throne room everybody, including Randall Tarley, and they talk about joining an alliance together and how Daenerys is going to destroy the realm. She's the daughter of the Mad King. She's bringing a Dothraki horde to rape and pillage. And Qyburn shows Cersei a dragon-killing spear. So the King's Landing scene's way better. This scene really made me kind of support Cersei in a way. I'm actually leaning more on Cersei's side rather than Daenerys. I was kind of always on Cersei's side. I like the Lannisters better than Dany any day. Like, yeah, Cersei's a terrible person, but she's a more compelling character. She's more complex. I always like Cersei a lot more. That's just me, though. I don't know. I like the Lannisters. I always like the House Lannister. I'm not really a Stark kind of guy. I'm a Baratheon, Lannister, Greyjoy kind of guy. But, yeah, this scene has really made me support Cersei because she's telling the truth. She's not really lying. Like, Dany is bringing a Dothraki horde into Westeros, and yeah, they are gonna rape and pillage. That's what the Dothraki do. You can't tell them to not do that. It's just part of their thing. That's just who the Dothraki are, and like that's not good for the realm. It's like why I didn't really like Dany for doing that. Like she's bringing savages into Westeros, and they're gonna kill a lot of people, and the dragons are gonna kill a lot of people. So she's not wrong to kind of tell the bannermen that, yeah, we need to fight her, and she's dangerous. Yes, Cersei's dangerous, but Daenerys is a lot more dangerous, in my opinion. So I'm glad, I like that scene. It made me respect Cersei a lot more. Jaime and Randall Tarley's conversation was really good. I'm glad to see that Randall's taking the side of the Lannisters, which is great. He's not going for House Tyrell, which is weird because the Tarleys are Tyrell bannermen, and it's nice to see that he's kind of joined the Lannisters. He's like, yeah, Olenna Tyrell is my overlord, but I have to fight for my queen. The queen calls me, I have to fight. I like Randall Tarley. He's a great character in the books. He's kind of like Stannis and Tywin combined. That's why I always kind of liked him. So it's nice to see that him and Jaime are going to be teaming up, going to war together. Can't wait to see those scenes. Looks like the next episode they're finally going to start fighting. Looking forward to that. Qyburn's dragon killing spear. We get to see the skull of Balerion the Dread, who is Aegon the Conqueror's dragon from the books, which is great. I'm very glad we got to see that. Kind of a nice homage to Aegon the Conqueror and his dragons. I don't think that dragon spear is going to work at all because Dany has plot armor and she always seems to win. So I don't expect her to win. I don't expect that dragon spear to do anything. But it was a cool scene. Qyburn's a cool guy. I like Qyburn's character a lot. So yeah, King's Landing scene is really good. Made me respect Cersei. Nice to see Randall Tarley and him picking sides. Telling how Daenerys is kind of bad for bringing Dothraki into Westeros, and she's not wrong. So King's Landing was way better than Winterfell in my opinion. So of course we have Dragonstone, where Daenerys argues with everyone about attacking King's Landing. Tyrion makes his strategies. He kind of like sends everybody here. He sends Ellaria and Yara to Dorne, and he sends the Unsullied to Casterly Rock, and I think he sends the Dothraki to intercept the Lannister armies and cut off their supply route. So Tyrion's strategizing there. Then Dany confronts Varys about poisoning her, trying to poison her back in season 1. I'm surprised they actually remembered that, because that's good writing, because Dany should have confronted Varys about that, because he did try to poison her, so I'm glad they brought that up. They didn't sweep that under the rug. They didn't forget about that, which is great. We also have a scene where Tyrion confronts Ellaria for poisoning Marcella, which I didn't think they'd do either. I thought they'd completely brush over that, but no, Tyrion's like, yeah, you killed my niece, and she was a good girl, and they address it. I'm glad they're addressing these things instead of just forgetting and brushing over these things. So I respect David and Dan for doing that in this episode. I'll give it to them for that. And of course, Melisandre meets everybody, meets Daenerys, and I don't know. I didn't really expect Melisandre to be in this episode. I thought she'd appear a lot later, or just not appear in the season at all. But it's nice to see her again. She basically talks about how the Prince was promised Azor Ahai is two people, so it's Jon and Dany, and they're gonna obviously team up. You can tell from the preview they're gonna meet. Great, we're gonna get some Dan Jon shippings. I'm not looking forward to that because I don't like that pairing. I don't like Jon and Dany getting together. But whatever, if it works for the story, if it works thematically, it'll be good. I just hope the writing is good for it. And yeah. Also, we get a pretty interesting scene with Missandei and Grey Worm, a eunuch sex scene. And I gotta say, wasn't that bad. I thought it was pretty good. I'll go off the record and say it was probably the best sex scene in the show. Yeah, a eunuch sex scene. But I feel like it was too long. Like, it was 5 minutes, and I'm like, do we really need to waste 5 minutes of runtime dedicated to a guy with no dick having sex? I don't think we did, but hey, it's HBO, you gotta show that kind of stuff here and there. So it's whatever. It was fine. Wasn't really that bothered by it, because I remember watching the trailer, I'm like, how are they gonna, and then they're like, oh, okay. Grey Worm basically pulled what Jon pulled on Ygritte back in season 3. Anyways, let's try to keep this PG-13. But anyways, that's all I have to say about Dragonstone. It was okay. Yeah, like I said, Missandei and Grey Worm scene kind of felt like a waste of time. I'm really getting tired of Dany. She's really getting annoying. I've always hated her character, but now she's really, really, really getting on my nerves. She's always talking to me like, I will rule the 7 kingdoms. I will rule the 7 kingdoms. I will rule the 7 kingdoms. Always arguing. Just sounds so entitled. I don't know if it's Emilia Clarke's acting or it's just the writing, or the dialogue, but I really don't like Daenerys at all. She's really annoying. I hate her. She's the worst character on the show. I know a lot of people like her, but I despise her, and I hope she loses. I hope she loses a lot. I don't like her at all. I'm sorry, guys. I hate Daenerys. She's really getting on my nerves a lot. Anyways, that's all I have to say about Dragonstone. It was okay. Just plot development here and there, setup here and there, a sex scene here, and good writing in terms of following up on what Varys and Daenerys' relationship was, how he tried to poison her and they brought that up, and how Ellaria poisoned Marcella, they brought that up. So I give David and Dan credit for doing that, but other than that, Dragonstone was okay. It didn't really do much for me. The Citadel, so Sam and Archmaester Ebros kind of examine Jorah, they talk about Grayscale, and Sam basically sneaks into Jorah's room and tries to heal him himself. It was an okay scene, I guess. Citadel scenes are kind of getting a little bit boring too. Sam's getting a bit too much screen time, but I like to see Jorah. It's nice to see Jorah again. Give him some lines. They talk more about grayscale and how Shireen, Stannis' daughter, had it, and they kind of go over it. And Sam kind of goes on his own accord to heal Jorah. I don't know how that works. How the hell is Sam supposed to know how to cure grayscale? Yeah, he's probably reading about it. But I wouldn't trust Sam with that. If I was Jorah, I wouldn't trust a random novice in terms of healing my grayscale. But it was a cool scene, kind of disgusting how you kind of see the pus and the grayscale. It's kind of weird. It was okay. Alright scene, gotta advance that plot. They're kind of hurrying things along. They don't have many episodes, so they gotta heal Jorah as fast as they can. I assume he's gonna get healed. He's not gonna die, guys. That's just me. But anyways, yeah. Citadel scenes were okay. Shorter than last week. Fine. Nice to see Jorah getting healed. Arya scenes. So basically, not much to say here. A lot of just basically reunions. Arya meets Hot Pie again. Nice to see Hot Pie again. Didn't seem to really do much for me. It just felt like kind of fan servicey and kind of, oh, there's Hot Pie. He's still alive. Nice to see him. He only gets like 1 minute of screen time every few seasons. But anyways, it's cool. He's kind of a joke meme character in the fan base. So it's all right, you know. And Arya meets Nymeria and the Wolf Pack. Which is a thing from the books. Nymeria is Arya's direwolf, who we haven't seen since season 1. In the book, she's leading a big wolf pack around the Riverlands, and we get to see that in this episode. So it's kind of a nice callback / Easter egg to that. But I thought Nymeria and Arya would go to Winterfell together, but apparently not. She just recognizes her, talks to her a little bit, and then leaves. Okay scene. Kind of felt a little bit pointless, but I guess they kind of need to show, oh yeah, this is where Nymeria's been. Here's a reference in the books. Here's Hot Pie. Arya scenes didn't really do too much for me, but she has decided to go north instead of go to King's Landing to kill Cersei. So I guess there's some advancement there. We're going to see Arya go to Winterfell, reunite with everyone. I figured that she'd go back to Winterfell. I knew she wouldn't be going to King's Landing. You could just tell from the trailers, and you just knew that there's going to be a big Stark reunion this year. We didn't see Bran in this episode, though, which is fine. And, of course, we have the ending. So the end of this episode, the thing that saved this episode from being totally bad. The Sand Snakes basically were just being annoying, arguing with each other as usual, being their annoying selves. Yara and Ellaria basically almost bang. But Euron, my boy Euron Greyjoy, attacks their fleet at night. He raids all their ships, destroys their entire fleet with his big-ass ship and all his crew. He kills 2 of the Sand Snakes. He kills Nymeria and Obara, and I bet people are going to be cheering at that. No one likes the Sand Snakes. I myself don't really mind them. I don't really care. Yeah, they're annoying, but they don't bother me as much as they bother other people. It's nice to see them die. Euron was so friggin' badass in that scene. He reminded me of Book Euron so much, and I was clapping. I'm like, there's my boy. There's the Euron we all needed. Not that stupid Euron from Season 6 that was making dick jokes. This is a badass, psychotic Euron who loves killing and loves getting in the action and just being a complete insane guy. I was so glad to see that. It was so satisfying. The ship battle was really good. I really liked that action. And other things that happen, basically he captures Yara and Ellaria and Tyene, the last Sand Snake, and Theon basically jumps off board. He escapes. I really liked the exchange between Theon and Euron, where he's like, "Come on, you cockless coward." Really good stuff. Theon's basically turning into Reek again. But it was really awesome. I really love this scene because I love Euron so much. Euron's one of my favorite characters, and I've been telling Euron's awesome, Euron's awesome. And people are going to finally see that in this episode, why I love him so much. He's awesome. Euron is like the new great villain of the show. And I can't praise the scene enough. It was great action, very bloody, gory. Killed the Sand Snakes. Got to see Euron being badass and cool. Plot development, capture Ellaria, Yara, Tyene, all of Yara and Theon's ship. Fleet gets screwed up, and I assume that's going to be Euron's gift to Cersei is Ellaria, because Ellaria poisoned Myrcella back in season 5, so that's basically the gift that he's going to give to her. So great stuff there, great scene, the scene that saved the episode from being totally you know. I loved it. It was great. So in conclusion, I will say this about the episode. The episode felt very quick. It went by really fast. Pretty great scenes. There's a lot of great scenes in this episode, but Winterfell, like I said, is getting really boring, really repetitive, and I'm really tired of Winterfell at this point. I really don't care about Sansa and Baelish, and really tired of seeing the same scene every episode with Jon and all the Northern Lords sitting in the hall arguing with each other. I'm tired of it. I hate it. I'm so glad that we're probably not going to see this anymore since John's leaving. So glad. The Missandei and Grey Worm scene felt, it felt really unnecessary, and it could have been much shorter, but it's HBO. Give them credit. They have to do that. It's entertaining. It's whatever. It's nice to see Jorah also getting cured. Jorah's one of my, not favorite, I just like him as a character, and I'm glad he's getting cured. Dany is getting annoying, like I said. I'm tired of her talking and babbling all the time. I can't stand her. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not looking forward to her meeting Jon and all that fan service that's gonna happen. I can't stand her. She's really kind of ruining the series for me in a way. If she wasn't in there, this series would be much better to me. But anyways, the Wolfpack scene was cool, but where's Ghost? Like, Ghost, Jon's direwolf. We haven't seen him for an entire season almost. But, it's whatever. It's nice to see Nymeria's back and the whole Wolfpack, reference from the book, blah, blah, blah. But I feel like they're wasting their CGI budget. Like, can we please see Ghost again? I want to see Ghost before the season ends. Like, it's been so long. Like, Ghost it wasn't even the Battle of the Bastards. But anyways, the ending scene was what kind of saved this episode. It's so freaking cool. It's awesome. I love Euron. Reinstated why Euron's a badass, awesome character. It was just really well directed and really cool. Music was cool. Action was cool. But everything else kind of felt or just okay. So I'll give this episode same rating as last episode, a B+. Just because some of the other scenes weren't as good, but the King's Landing stuff, like I said, was good. Randall Tarley scenes and Cersei scenes, and the ending scene is kind of what made this episode good. Everything else was just meh. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. As always, remember to like, comment, subscribe if you're new. It'll really help out. I'm Rice Duke, and I'll catch you guys later.